Hello, friends and fellow adventurers. Welcome to the MNmaxed podcast. We want to thank you for joining us, and you do so as we continue Bloodlords. As always, we'd like to invite you to come join our Discord, where you can hang out with us and other listeners of the show. And if you'd like to throw a little financial support our way, you can check out our Patreon. And a shout out to all of those that are Lich level and above. Rock Jedi, Wolf, Blottimus Slump, Thunder Mammoth, The Trevor Project, Das Chris, Fizzgig, AC Goldner, Eric R, Optus Grisig right past you there, Indie Link, Tawdry Monster, Mercutio, Angel Shadow Art, Sirendin, The Necromancer Forever, Doc Holiday, Corey, Robert T, Jason K, Dicky Lopez, Bobson Dugnut, Rickety Rope Bridge, Alex K, Doma Elaka, Frank L, Just Mike Works, Ross D, Argoon's Long Lost Elbow, Fig Tears, Zach S, Jamie H, Mr. Turtle, Sleeve, Darren, Caleb W, Pickle, Mr. Grim, Fire Down, M54 Ewas, Jameson S, Eric R, plus 24 7 of Whacking, George F, I'm Not a Robot, Leo Hart, Har, Witch Hunter, Jeremy D, Matthew M, Scott E, Progeny of Kuchu Lane, Liz Giggles, Callistria Specialty, Brandon K, Gringus Maximus, Andrew G, Eben Flames, and Booming Thunder. Shout out to new patron this week at the Lich level, Henry. Thank you all so much for your support. And now a recap of session 36. Having infiltrated Decrosia's factory, we find her polishing her rifle, and she jumps out of a window. We give chase. She has a big gun that hits hard, but we bust out all the tricks and start whomping her. We get a little lucky and kill her quickly. As soon as she dies, her construct Minotaur attacks and is much harder than the hag. Kix gets gored to death, but his inner devil rebukes this and keeps Kix barely alive. Eventually, we whittle down the construct, mostly thanks to Lucan's electric arcs and Arius keeping everyone alive. As it dies, all the townsfolk are gathering and are hostile. Arius intimidates them, and we all run away!
As you guys escape from Pakged with your undead and living hides intact, you hit level 7. So let's take a moment to talk about everyone's level 7. Who wants to go first?
Well, pick me.
Kix, what do you got?
I am level 7. That's all I got. The biggest thing that I'm excited for is my conscious mind has the now amp trait for message, and I can give everybody reactions to hit things on my turn. Not everybody, but I can choose to do so using amped focus. But beyond that, I took fast recovery and a master in occultism for aiding.
So actually, this is a really big level for Kix.
I like it.
A lot of things turn on.
Yeah.
Giving attacks as reactions to your allies, that's very useful. Increasing to master means that your critical successes on aids are now +3.
And then I have telepathy for my conscious mind for a 4th level spell and phantasmal killer.
Ooh. Alright. Big milestone level for Kix. Let's see how that plays out coming up. Then after Kix, who wants to go next?
Arius will go.
Alright.
Took Fleet.
Nice, brother. And some harm spells.
I mean, it doesn't really surprise me.
I've been bitching about movement speed for a while now, so I finally took it. I'm also a master in intimidation, so I'm going to start using that more, definitely. And then I got my 3rd doctrine, which is expert proficiency in my weapon. And I get crit spec with my deity's weapon as well now.
That is also a pretty big deal.
I can hit things better, I can move faster, and I can intimidate better.
That's pretty fucking solid, man. I'd ask you what spells you took, but we all know that they're filled with harm spells.
Yeah, I took harm, and I even swapped out some of my lower level ones that weren't harm to harm. I now have 13 harms.
Goodness gracious.
Gotta keep these folks alive, right? Or undead? Whatever. Okay. Well, that's Arius' level 7. Well, we got Lucan and Shara left.
Lucan's is pretty straightforward. I get a general feat with which I took Die Hard. I don't really get much else. The main thing I get is that Sundrinker now has permanent reach. I don't have to use that ability to get 10 feet reach. I just always have it, and I can use that ability to now have 15-foot reach.
Oh, nice.
Sundrinker's, Sundrinker's going to be dealing more damage. I get Eidolon weapon specialization, and I get a new Eidolon ability.
Well, that is indeed a very solid level up. Does Sundrinker increase in size yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Next level. Next level.
So what's that? Is he still large or what is he?
Actually, only medium.
Still
Right
a
now,
medium?
Yeah.
Yep.
But can
But-
reach 15 with that
But can
ability?
reach
That's pretty
15.
nice.
Yeah.
So when he becomes a large, does that get bigger?
Next level will be large. We'll have a reach of 15 and be able to go to 20. And then just a
Goodness.
little bit after that, will be huge, have a reach of 20, and be able to go to 25.
I mean, you're not going to need to spend actions on Sundrinker moving
I won't even need to
anywhere.
move. No, there will be no need to move.
And between your size and your reach, yeah, you just stand there and anything that moves you can hit.
I have this image of Lucan astride a rosebush thorn throne in combat. And like it's like,
Nah. I just meld if I ever want to do something like that.
Well, fun. A little peek into the future with Lucan and Sundrinker. How about new kid on the block, Shara? What's level 7 look like?
Yeah, Shara is also taking Master Intimidation this level in order to increase the chance of getting that Dread Martial stance to crit, or at least to succeed. So that's the main reason for that. I took Numb to Death for my general feat. I don't think anybody's taken that one before. I have to have Die Hard and you have to have died at least once. And then once per day, the first time I regain hit points while I have the dying condition, I gain an additional hit points equal to my level, and I do not gain the wounded condition or increase my wounded condition.
That's Swanee. Like, I'm not losing this one.
I'm not losing this freaking character. But the bigger things is I become expert in armor. So with the level up and everything, I now have a 27 AC or 29 if I have my shield raised.
Goodness gracious.
And I also got weapon specialization, so I deal an extra 2 damage with my attacks.
Solid.
So nothing too flashy, but nice.
Very. Yeah, that expert bump on, wait, is it expert weapon or armor now? or-
Expert armor.
Expert armor.
Which actually also then gives me the armor specialization ability. So I also gained 2 slashing resistance.
No shit. Nice. Solid level up from the champion. It's nice to see one of those go into these levels now. Now that there's a lot of, options available. And this is, not a typical champion anyways. So, after everyone gives the city of Pakged some time to, simmer down, how do you go back into a town? Do you disguise yourselves to go back into town, or you just waltz in?
I figure we just waltz in.
Yeah, just
Either
waltz
he's got
in.
the town under control or he doesn't.
Agreed.
Although with kicks, we might still want kicks to disguise, because
I can do that.
yeah, you got that like
yeah.
you're undead, don't you?
It'll last for a little bit,
Well, you know where you're going. You don't need to wander around aimlessly anymore. You know where Shroud's located. So, you waltz into town. What time?
At dusk. I mean, it needs to be after the sun goes down for Lucan.
Yeah.
So at dusk, you waltz into town. Things are a little hectic, you can tell. There are some undead, the Viralax, who are milling about. They seem unfocused, almost as though they're in some sort of, daydream, as they just kind of wander through Pakged. Occasionally, you'll see a handful of them fighting each other, but nothing beyond some fist fights and others pulling them away. You manage to walk right to where the Shroud is without any resistance. There's a small crowd outside the door. They're murmuring and muttering amongst themselves. What do you do?
Are they blocking the way? We can't get into the Shroud's door?
Not with where the crowd is positioned now, no.
I walk towards them, unafraid, as though I own the place, exuding confidence.
As you do, you have to actually bump into the folks at the back in order to get them to move out of your way.
I'm not bumping into anybody, but Sundrinker will.
Sundrinker would? Okay, so then Sundrinker would have to, push their way a little bit to start it. Because nobody's even noticing you as you approach. They're all just talking amongst themselves. And when you start making your way through, one of them goes, "Hey, what are you doing? You don't just get to waltz in front of you. There's people here waiting for seeing Shroud."
And they will wait for us to be finished.
That don't seem right. Yeah, they don't seem right.
We are on official business from a bloodlord. You will step aside, or you will pay the consequences.
Yeah, we still got that in our fucking pockets. Let's go.
That's a 31 intimidation check.
Okay, and you do, and one of them goes, "Hey, I think that's the one that's done killed Decrosia. Oh, now step back, get out of the way." No, step back, get out of the way, get out of the way. No, step back, get out of the way, get out of the way. No, step back, get out of the way, get out of the way. No, step back, get out of the way, get out of the way. And it turns to awe pretty quickly.
I pass through.
The door's unlocked. As you walk in, there's a lot of activity going on in here. And as soon as you walk in, you hear Shroud's voice from the back. Beyond busy Verilex who are shifting through papers and moving crates and opening and organizing things. "We're not taking any visitors right now."
Oh, hello. It's just us. We're not visitors. Well, we are, but...
And he takes his staff and he doesn't like hobble or limp, but he looks exhausted, if an undead could be said to look exhausted. "Ah, the heroes. Well, some people are calling you that. Others are calling you disruptors."
Killing people does disrupt things, yes.
Sometimes for the better, though.
Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate what you've done. And I see, likely, you've come to collect.
Yes.
Digs into his pockets, pulls out a pouch, and hands it to you. As promised, let it never be said that Shroud doesn't keep his word. And here, from my personal stores, and he pulls off a ring from his finger. It looks like a skeletal snake eating its own tail.
That's cool.
And kind of passes it to Lucan, and he lowers his voice a little, quietly. "You can have the ring just so long as you don't come back to town with it or try to sell it in town."
Why? What's so special about it?
Just promise.
Fair enough. I can make a promise. I promise.
Good. And he hands it to you. The pouch has 150 gold pieces.
Yay!
I thought it was 250.
Sorry,
Didn't you
yeah,
get
that's
promised
250. You're right, 250. I said 150, but that wasn't correct. In the pouch is 250 gold pieces. And the ring is a ring of wizardry, type 1.
A ring of wizardry type 1?
Type 1.
That means you can have a first level spell on it, right?
It's arcane spell slots. Gain 2 additional first level arcane spell slots each day.
That's getting sold, baby.
Kix is occult, divine.
I'm primal.
You have everything.
No,
You have every
sold.
tradition except arcane.
Yep.
Yes, we are also headed to Yled to see Bloodlord Heldoli. I'm sure she would be happy to hear that this is back under Bloodlord control.
Well, under Bloodlord control, there's no Bloodlord presence here necessarily. Are you going to... Is she going to send a Bloodlord, or... He starts to look a little nervous.
I mean, she will likely stop in to make sure things are being ran as dictated by Geb, unlike Decrosia.
Right, of course.
But of course, we could always put in a good word for you and let her know that things are going swimmingly, and we checked up on it personally. If we did that, perhaps she wouldn't need to stop by.
There's lots to do. Lots to do to make us compliant. Lots to do.
So we could
Lot
definitely
counts.
do that. We could try and persuade her not to come here.
am I detecting? If next.
Oh, I don't know. What do you think?
It sounds like it.
We only saved your town and you, and in a position to ensure Bloodlord doesn't come here and learn about what really happened firsthand.
I see.
You see, if a joke has to be explained, it's not a very good joke.
Or a threat.
Right. I don't actually have anything else that I might be able to offer you, physically. I do have some clout with the Carter's Consortium. I'd be happy to spread your good words along your deeds.
A good word for a good word.
Exactly. I had the same thought, Shadow.
Right. Yes.
Perfect.
That's exactly what I'll do then.
And so shall we, Shroud.
And he doesn't breathe necessarily visibly, but he does kind of let out tension from his shoulders a bit. Well, I do have very much work to do here.
And we have a long travel, so we won't keep you.
I wish you the best of luck.
Oh, by the way, do you have any wagons?
Many wagons. Take however many wagons you need for the travel. Within reason.
All of the wagons. Take all.
All the wagons.
I only need one to ride in.
We need one more than how many you got.
I've lost track of where my coffin is at this point.
It's in a wagon.
Oh, that's right. It's still back at,
Probably on the ship still.
No, I don't think we put it on the
You
ship.
gave it
in Sallow share.
Ed.
We gave it to somebody to drive back
Greydirge.
to Greydirge. Yeah, we'll see how that works out. Along with the family that we sent back to Greydirge. Man, we're gonna be down one wagon and one family,
and a coffin.
and a coffin,
Yeah, we'll just write
you're,
that
you're,
one
gonna-
off.
you're gonna need a new coffin.
and a shadow. Smoke.
Smoke.
Oh, right. Smoke. Well, I guess we'll see. Then you guys get about 500 gold in coinage and a decent amount of items.
This is a place we can sell stuff, or not really? It's more of a manufacturing type town.
Yeah, Pakged, you're not going to get a lot of options. Now, Yled, on the other hand, not only are you going to be able to sell with no issue in Yled, you're going to be able to purchase with no issue
Excellent.
in Yled.
Let's head to Yled. Let's get the Yled out.
So, we talked a little bit about it earlier, but the trip to Yled over land is about 200 miles. Are you going to be doing crafting during travel as well?
I don't see why not, yeah.
I mean, if we can make +1 runes, that would be awesome for our armor.
Are you ready for that right now? And do you have everything you need for it?
I mean, it's just cash, so yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, same. I'd love that for me and Sundrinker. Yeah, how much money do we have to be able to afford? How many of these can we have made?
What does a +1 cost? I don't even. Is it like 160 or something like that? I can't remember.
It's 160 for one rune. And how many days do we have? Because I can make it.
About a week.
Oh, I can make like one.
Yeah, you can make one.
Well, I'll make one. That's fine.
All right.
Well, when we get to Yled, maybe we can buy some or whatever.
Resilience 340, level 8. So we can't get that yet.
So, you begin your overland travel from Pakged to Yled. Now, this eastern and western running road, I would not call it a major trade road necessarily, but it is very close to the border of the neighboring Alkenstar in the Mana Wastes. So there are certainly some items being moved to and from the borders. You can see that more as you get closer to Yled, on like day 5 or 6. On the final day, the day of your approach, Yled is a sprawling city. It is a metropolis. Yled was the militaristic stronghold of Geb at its height in its war with Nex. Since the end of the war, it's had to kind of, change. And it has. Certainly a hub of commerce, and a place where a lot of exports come in and out of. It's certainly no Mekatar, the capital of Geb, but it is still a massive city in its own right. You're going to a place called the Twilight Castrum. Do you know why you need to go to the Twilight Castrum?
I'll look at my notes.
That's where the Bloodlord said she was going to go. I don't know.
I did write down Twilight
I
Castrum.
vaguely remember, because he mentioned that's where the person that was paying for Pakged's services, basically, was at the Twilight Castrum.
Decrosia has recently ramped up production of alchemical items that get shipped out to the Axenwood, Shadowshore, and Yled. It's all being paid for by Nethnelma from the Twilight Castrum in Yled. Nethnelma. It's being paid for by Nethnelma of the Twilight Castrum. That's the person paying for all of these alchemical items being shipped out.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
Just didn't have the person's name.
You remembered. I looked up. This is a key difference in how our brains work.
The Twilight Castrum. If anybody has, not Lore Greater wouldn't work here, but a society check.
I'll give you a society check, yo.
Give me what you know about the Twilight Castrum as you're pulling into Yled.
Oh, get a 17. Don't know anything about it.
Yeah, but it's fucking foreign to me.
Unless it's fairly common knowledge.
Not if you're not from the area.
Sounds like we better get to town, find somewhere to stay, and then do some gather information checks.
Sounds like it.
What are those?
You approach the gates of Yled. There's a process of getting in, but they check your identities. For some reason, I have to assume that you have IDs in Geb. Like, you have to have an ID, right? And Arius, if you didn't have one, Berline got you one. But you get checked at the gate, and one of the skeleton guards at the end, after you pass through the massive gate, this used to be a war gate, so you could see the portcullis and the giant doors that can be closed to barricade this thing, and it actually has a few stages to it. As you enter in, it is bustling in here, and you see undead of all kinds, as well as quick of all kinds. You see everything from, like, ghouls who are dressed in, like, the most colorful outfits, being followed by servants who are wafting, perfumes in a decanter in their master's direction. And two of them pass each other, and they say, "You're looking very healthy today." "You as well." They pass by, and there's just so much going on. The skeleton guard that sees you as you're entering in, "Welcome to Yled. Can I help you with something?"
We'll be looking for rooms to stay in. We'll be looking to visit our employer, who is supposed to be here. Do we know where she is?
No idea.
But we're not exactly sure where. Might you know where we could find Bloodlord Hadley?
No. Sorry. No. I don't know where you would find. There's many Bloodlords in Yled. Go ask one of them.
Excuse me, is there a reason you're laughing?
Sorry, there's just... Who are you even coming in demanding to see a Bloodlord?
Cyburst!
Yep, heard him.
This is the thing that doesn't have any components, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I need to unleash my psyche, so I guess I would cast guidance on myself, and then I would hit him in the head with my brain.
As soon as you unleash your psyche, the guard would say, "Oh, none of that now. None of that now, gods." Because there's visual manifestations that happen around you as you unleash your psyche. And some guards would run over and begin to draw their weapons. Do you continue?
Yeah, I look fucking dope. I don't know what he thinks I'm continuing. I just got a cool aura looking around me.
None of that magic stuff out here in the streets. Take that to the schools and the academies and go talk to them. Not in the streets. And the one's holding his head.
This is Geb. You're an idiot.
I can't just have newcomers coming in here and just casting spells willy-nilly. You have a license for that.
That's not at all true. I make a... Who's got lore barrister? Wasn't that something somebody had at one point?
There is a...
Sounds like something.
I make a society check. Do I know that there's like laws against casting spells in public? I get a 20. I feel like that's enough.
It really depends on the city, but not any that you've heard of.
Yeah. This guy's a moron. I leave him to his simple brain and continue on. We're going to go find a place to stay. I think finding a base of operations will be our first point.
All right.
Yeah, we probably could have asked that guy if we didn't just attack him.
I'm sorry. He pissed me off.
I didn't attack him. It was my brain. I have no control. I literally don't. All right. You've met the guy. He's kind of a prick.
Kind of an asshole. So, where do you go? Just find an inn or a hotel or something to stay in?
Yeah. A nice one, hopefully.
Sagan?
Yeah, we got quite a nice one.
I mean, I don't know. Except for maybe Arius wants to just go fucking sit in a hole somewhere. But
I mean, he'd probably just stay in the corner of the room, whatever.
I suppose.
Be a pile of bones in the corner of the room.
I just need some standing room somewhere and I'm good.
All right.
Just needs some standing room.
Some collapsing room.
do you need some standing room or just some pile of bones room?
I need a place big enough to hold my bones.
My bone.
Yeah, we'll go find what looks like a nice-ish place.
So you wander into town and you find yourself a nice looking spot. And you get a room. 1 room? 4 rooms?
How many beds are in a room?
I mean, at least 3. I'm not sure what Arius wants to do.
You can get them one per, or you can get 2 up.
Rolling a cot.
Yeah, I think at least 2. 1 for, I'd say, Kix, I don't mind sharing a room with you.
Oh.
And then the 2 of you can go to a room.
The 2 of you.
Yeah, Arius can hang out with Perdition's bones. We can
Yeah,
chill
there
out.
you go. There you go. No, here's my real strategy. The incongruity with how we've portrayed Kix to this point in how we speak and the art for him. I think it's finally time, Kix, that Lucan convinces you to go on a shopping spree with me.
We're gonna get some dapper.
We got to go get some fucking nice-ass threads to match your nice-ass art. So, Kix, here's the thing. We've been hanging around together for quite a while now. We even own a manor together, don't we? How strange, but we do. The problem is, darling, you look like trash. And you know, it's all right. It's okay. I know you do not come from means, and that's fine. But here's the thing. We have means now. Let's go get you some nice clothes. Because honestly, if I have to look at you dressed like that for 1 more minute, I'm going to vomit.
I'm offended, but I get it.
You're a handsome tiefling, Kix. Let's show it off.
So, just out of curiosity, did we successfully craft anything? Or did we attempt to? No one finished off. Otherwise, I was just going to craft something for all of us. Because I can't make the thing any cheaper, so I might as well just craft a level 1 item for all of us.
Yeah, we can just buy them when we get to Yled.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did you have in mind as a level 1 item?
You all get one of these.
A savior spike? This pyramid-shaped spike is attached to an armor's chest piece. When you activate the spike, it shoots a strand of force to help you gain purchase. If you roll a success on the triggering attempt, you get a critical success instead. If you roll a critical failure, you get a failure instead. Nice.
Yeah, it's a talisman, so it's a 1 use.
This doesn't have a silly requirement.
I mean, you have to be an expert in reflex.
Oh, I'm not an expert in reflex. Oh,
I missed that.
Reflex. No, that's okay. I'm an expert in reflex.
So most of us should.
Oh,
at
and
this point.
reflex. Oh, yeah. Not. I was
Nope.
thinking.
I guess
Everybody
I'm
should be an expert in reflex now.
I'm not.
You're not?
I'm not.
Oh,
You
no.
guys will eventually be one day. And you have this. If you ever grab something.
Did you get to just make these for free or what?
Very cheap. 10 gold for all 4 of them.
All right. Okay. All right.
With my successful 33 crafting check, I reduced the cost by.
I toss it on Sunbreaker?
Does Sunbreaker wear armor?
No. Nope.
It has to
It
have.
has to go on armor. Damn it.
Get Sundrinker a coat.
Yeah, just throw a coat.
Yeah, because there's very specific Eidolon equipment, right?
There is. Yeah, there is. Yeah, let's go buy. Let's go. I want to get the +1 armor stuff, and I would love to get a primal a ring. God, how do rings work? An arcane ring or a primal ring?
Actually, don't know if there is the equivalent of a ring of wizardry.
I don't think there is an equivalent of a wizardry ring.
Damn it.
Now, if you could find a way to get the formula or create a formula for it.
Or a wand. I need to get a wand. Here's what I need is I need a wand of Summoner's Precaution. Because I just can't be wasting a spell slot every day, but I also need to cast that spell every day.
Oh, that's right, because you can't have a lower level version of it.
I mean, I can put it in my 3rd level spell slot, but then it's taking up one of my 2 3rd level spell slots.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're taking up a very valuable spell slot.
To just cast this thing. And I need it. Like, it is extremely useful and necessary. I'll go see how much a wand of a 2nd level. Let's find that out.
We're doing a little shopping spree.
Yeah, a little shopping spree, I think. A little shopping spree.
Yeah. What other stuff can we sell?
We're going to spend all day shopping, right?
Night, but yes.
Sure, yeah, sorry. All night shopping. Are you going to be going as a party? And if you're going as a party, will one person... I just need one person to do the buying and the selling, which means other people can gather information.
Can we do both at the same time? I feel like if we're spending money somewhere, that makes somebody predispositioned to talk to us more and
That's what I'm...
have a little
that's
looser
basically
lips.
what I'm saying.
I say we do that.
He's saying, one person's kind of shopping and one person's kind of chatting it up with the owner.
You don't
I
need
love
to be
that.
good at shopping. So just find out who
But
you're going to
we
have be
are.
your gather information people, and then the other person will actually be doing the shopping, whoever the other folks is.
Who's got the best diplomacy? I got a 13.
I have a 15.
Nice, you do it.
Nobody else has higher than a 15.
I don't think I have diplomacy. I have a 1.
Intimidation? You need somebody intimidated?
Only if the diplomacy goes poorly.
Yeah.
I got a 2 diplomacy and a 15 intimidation.
Yeah, I'm charisma based, so my deception, diplomacy, and intimidation are all pretty good.
Somebody should take this bag of holding type 2 out of here. Who's taking that?
We have one?
Yeah, it's in our loot.
I just always assumed, just because of the wizard, that Ted has the bag of holding.
You do not have to. I'd be happy I can take it.
I mean, it's a bag of holding. It literally does not matter. I mean, I guess it is one bag.
I don't think Arius would carry it.
Okay.
He doesn't really care about other items.
All right. Sundrinker will carry it.
Here's about his sword and his armor.
I have taken the bag of holding type 2.
Okay. So, Lucan, are you assisting, aiding me?
Yes, I would
or-
love to aid you in this. I get a 24. Is that a success? This is going to be close, isn't it?
So that's going to be close. I'm not
Aiding.
sure.
Right now, that is a success, yes.
Hey! You get +1.
23 at this level.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Shara, go ahead and give me your gather information with the +1.
Roll a 5. Get a 21.
Take that hero point.
Yeah. I'll use it. That's what I'm used to using it for, social. Oh my god. Was on a 12, and then at the last second, rolls to a 2.
Well, isn't that just par for the course?
My rolls from the other night have continued to suck.
So,
But I'm not doing any combat tonight, guys. It's not going to go well.
as you're gathering information from folks, the best you're able to get, nobody knows who Nethnelma is. Nobody tells you, at least, who Nethnelma is. You don't get that name from anyone. You're able to discover that the Twilight Castrum is, in fact, in a section of Yled called the Three Gates Plaza. It's a spacious circular plaza that's paved with cobblestones and lined with 3 graveyards, hence the 3 gates. So there's the circular plaza and then the 3 gates to get into the graveyards. And the graveyards are actually filled with mausoleums, there's residences in the graveyards, shops, all sorts of, actual thriving metropolitan culture, I suppose. But that's the Three Gates Plaza. The Twilight Castrum itself, you're able to discover that it is a necromancy academy that operates in the shadows of Yled's other more famous magical academies, like the Mortuarium. It's kind of like the Necromancy Community College that's in the same city as, the big university that's in that city. So that's the information you're able to find.
All right. Pretty generic.
Yeah, nobody can tell you anything about Bloodlords in specific or where any of them might be or hang out. There is a Bloodlord who runs the city, so anybody could tell you that Bloodlord Pakged is the overseer of Yled, and then there's other Bloodlords that are just in Yled as well.
Pakged?
Pakged. They are a mummy.
Well, at least we got that info. I say let's go see Hake first. See if we can find Haldoli.
Yeah, I don't think you're just going to walk up to a Bloodlord in Yled and...
Yeah, much less the overseer of the whole city.
Send a letter? Can we do any scrying?
I mean, yeah, we could send some sort of message to request an audience.
Yeah, let's do that if we can.
Either that or we make a really big ruckus and hope Bloodlord Haldoli notices.
I mean,
create a commotion.
I've got Sundrigger walking around. Somebody will probably notice, right?
Just a tree.
I mean, it's not exactly very out of place where you've got, there are places where hulking zombies are doing heavy lifting labor, of loading and unloading things, if you will, or, all sorts of odd sights throughout Yled. Sundrinker isn't exactly a huge standout. We'll take...
Not until it's large.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once Sundrinker gets a little bigger, maybe. But right now, there are other hulking creatures that create a lot of, notice.
I start walking the streets and preaching the good word of Zerial.
Oh, God.
Does that draw attention?
I mean, most people would ignore you. You'd be like the Doomsayer downtown.
I try to intimidate them. While doing it.
Respect my religion.
What is that? Coercion? What is that? What am I doing here?
Coerce. Yeah, it's coerce.
Yeah, of course.
I think I have a feat to do group one too. Yeah, group coercion. And I'm a master now. 10 at a time. I'm coercing 10 people at a time.
You're gonna intimidate them into following Zuriel?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and give me an intimidation check. What does the party do as this is happening?
I walk the fuck away. I know
A hard eye roll and...
Urgatho is the law of the land. You go preaching some other god, you're gonna get the fucking celebrants on your ass. And there's some shady shit going on with them.
31. I have an Urgathoan champion with me.
Do you?
With a 31, you are able to successfully coerce 10 people to stand around and listen to you preach. They're all undead. None of them are living.
That makes sense.
But they don't exactly look like they're about to take up arms with you. When you're done with your sermon, they kind of look at each other and then scatter.
Job well done. Move on to the next town. I've done my job.
Block by block.
As Arius does this, I do go find whatever the equivalent of a mail place is, or a note runners, whatever. There's got to be a place that does that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
And I'll write up a very fancy note to Bloodlord Pakged, requesting a brief audience.
What do you give as the return address?
Wherever it is we're staying.
Okay.
And the room number. I will, David knows this, but Lucan doesn't necessarily know this. Society check to know, would a Bloodlord always be friendly with another Bloodlord? Or do they sometimes like to stab each other in the back?
Oh, what's your plus to society? Are you trained expert? What?
I'm trained with a plus 12.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a society check.
I get a 28.
Lucan, it strikes you as you're writing the letter that, no, in fact, Bloodlords are constantly competing with one another, constantly looking for weaknesses in others in order to exploit them to their own ends.
My worry is that
It's a game of politics.
Haldoli
manipulation.
doesn't even
Want anybody to know
they
that she's
don't
here.
even know that Haldoli is here.
Yeah.
And we would be like blowing her cover if we walk up and be like, "Hey, have you seen Haldoli? She said she was gonna be here."
Yeah. I changed my mind. I tossed the people I was with a couple of copper, a couple of silver to say thanks, and I take what I was writing with me and burn it. That was a mistake. It was a bad idea. I'm glad I stopped myself. We'll go about this a different way. Maybe Arius' way wasn't too bad. Let Haldoli come find us.
I was gonna say either let Haldoli find you, or act on the other piece of information that you have.
We're just gonna have to go to this
The castration place.
Twilight, whatever, castrum.
Which I really hope isn't a place where castrations are performed.
Castrum, not castration.
Twilight castration. Wait till you hear what the logo of the location looks like. Like it's a magical academy. It's college. It has a logo. It probably has a few sports teams and what have you.
The castrum castrators should be what they are.
They're just, it's the
It'd be
Tower
the
and
castrum
Moon.
casters, wouldn't it? Yeah, it'd be the castrum
No,
casters.
it's the Tower and Moon.
Oh, dick and balls.
Yeah, Tower and Moon, yep. I don't know if they meant to put a dick joke in there,
Who knows?
but here we are.
I always assumed they meant to put a dick joke in there.
Good point. So that leaves the Three Gates Plaza. That's where the Twilight Castrum is. You head there.
I mean, we're not stealthy people. We just go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's
yep.
just go. Ask to see Nethnelma and just
Yeah, pretty much.
see where it takes us.
All right. Well, then you make your way over to the Three Gates Plaza. It's pretty easy to find it once you figure out that you can, get a map or, check with a guard or what have you. But you're directed to a location where it is a big circular plaza. It's on the edge of Yled. It's one of the newer additions since the end of the end of the war. But there are 3 iron gates here that lead to large cemeteries. In the plaza itself, in the huge circle, you see shops lining it, and there are wares of all kinds. And that's something you've seen throughout Yled as you've only spent, really, this is your second day in the city. There's tons of shit here. And in this particular section, you see shops that are selling t-shirts and flags and scarves and shit like that with the school's logo, the Tower and the Moon on it. There's the university store. There's a bookstore. You see students of all ages wearing, Twilight Castrum, block letter sweatshirts, walking around with books and backpacks. Folks sitting around in the dusk having, a drink for the evening, if you will.
I will.
And as you walk into Three Gates Plaza, you hear a familiar voice. Yoo-hoo! Yoo-hoo! Over here! Yes! Over here! And you see Berline Haldoli at a small circular table at a cafe, sitting down with 2 gentlemen, and she's having tea.
I greet her with a broad, platinum vampire fanged smile. Mistress Haldoli, how wonderful to see you here.
It is a pleasure. Fancy seeing you. Fancy seeing you. Okay, come sit down. Hold on. We'll pull up another table. And she snaps her fingers, and Glorinsa, her skeleton, comes up and pulls over an empty table from nearby in the patio and aligns the chairs for everybody to have a seat. Sit down, sit down. I'll introduce you. And she comes over to Lucan and nudges you. Never too early for a little networking, right?
Never at all.
These are the gentlemen that are sitting at the table with her. Bloodlord Kirill Von, she says first, and she gestures to a tall and emaciated white that has eyes of crimson fire. These are the people you were telling me about. In the report, your agent, Gishkar. Yes, Saloshore, was it? Well, I told you I knew them, and here they are. This is Lucan Hollow, Kix, Arius, and Shara. And she puts a special emphasis on Shara's name as she points to you and says, unfortunately, it would seem that Gerdrug won't be joining us today. Will he?
No, he will not.
I'd like to hear more about that, Shara. Come speak with me later. In the meantime, this is Bloodlord Cairo Wolf.
Greetings, sir. And yeah, Shara will bow.
A pleasure to make your acquaintance, Bloodlord.
A pleasure to meet you as well, Lucan. Lucan Hollow.
Yes.
Your name is spoken specifically in the reports.
Positively, I heard.
Gishkar said his interactions with you were... pleasant wasn't the word that he used. Concise was the word.
Who is Gishkar again?
Gishkar was the lizard folk in Saloshore.
He was the warehouse guy.
Oh.
Shallow. And that's the same guild as Shroud, right? And this guy's also in that guild.
Yes.
Yes.
They're all the same guild.
Yes, I would consider Gishkar a very concise kind of person. Very, very, capable.
So it would seem you are potentially as well.
Certainly like to think we're quite capable.
Kix, it is good to meet you. Strange to see someone as yourself in this sort of group.
You find yourself in places you just don't seem to be. And then I hit him with a cyber... No, I don't hit him. Just
Oh, fuck. God, you guys would lose that fight so fast. And Arius, you're an interesting character.
Yes,
That's all I have to say.
that's all I had to say.
Good. I know you. I feel like I can know you. You're a simple man and I appreciate it. And Shara.
This fucker just called me simple?
And Shara. I haven't heard much about you. Yet. How did you find yourself to be with the sinners, I believe they called themselves? That's what Gishkar said that you went by.
Yes, it's a interesting story. Probably a one too long to tell the long version of, but I was looking for someone and found these people instead.
Do we know you were looking for a good drug? We'd know that, right?
Yeah, I straight up told
Yeah,
you guys, right?
yeah.
Right,
And
like right off the
And I
bat.
showed you where he was on the mantelpiece. Yes, a former a former associate of ours. Destroyed now. Poor Gerdrug.
Unfortunate. Many good things were said about Gerdrug in the reports. He was closely associated with the consortium before his demise.
Yes, well, he wouldn't have made it to Saloshore, so how many reports do you have?
A few. The other man that's sitting here, he's now started to gain like visual. He's getting your visual attention because he's starting to like he's sitting up straighter and he's pulling his vest back a little bit to show his chest. And he's pruning a little bit. Or preening a bit. Bloodlord Haldoli says, and of course, it's an honor to present Bloodlord Zithni.
Oh, please. Bloodlord Zithni, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lucan Hollow. A pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Oh, the pleasure's, well, potentially all mine.
Oh, I should certainly hope so.
I was hoping that you would introduce yourself last. Otherwise, I wouldn't even get to understand the others' names. But it turns out that their names don't matter right now.
They certainly don't.
Lucan, I have a place that I've been staying for a while. Would you like to come to my condo?
Absolutely, although I must say I am in the employ of Bloodlord Haldoli, so if she has any information or work that I must attend to, I have to see to that first.
Oh, well, We'll get to that then, darling. We'll get to that.
Oh, yeah, if it wasn't clear to the audience. What's this guy's name? Zthani? Zithni?
Zithni. It's Zthni.
Zithni is a very handsome vampire, so if that wasn't clear by my reaction, now you know. With big pecs and shoulders. And pointy ears. Was he an elf or a half-elf?
Maybe you can talk. Maybe that's just pillow talk for later.
Yeah, that's later. It's not important right now.
Speaking of work to do, was there anything you needed for us, Bloodlord?
Me, specifically? Well, you're kind of still in the middle of a job, if I'm to understand. Is that correct?
Yes, very much so. It's actually where we were headed now.
So, the Graveclaw dwindles a little further every month. Who's left?
Do we even, is this person part of the Graveclaw? We haven't heard of
Nethnelma?
Nethnelma.
Well, our lead is named Nethnelma.
Simultaneously.
Okay, Argoon.
Simultaneously. Oh, God. Simultaneously, Zithni and, I'm going to forget the guy's name, Kyril. Zithni and Kyril react visibly. Kyril stiffens and says, Nethnelma! And Zithni slams his hand on the table and goes, that grave bitch!
Oh, apparently you guys have made her acquaintance?
And are none too pleased with it.
Ugh, I hate her. She's awful.
Well, it's also planning some sort of rebellion, I believe.
That is interesting.
Yes, Bloodlord Hardolde, may we speak freely?
Of course.
And I do so. I will fill her and Zithni and what was it? Kyril in on what we know about these strange toxins being mass produced and tested on people, all kind of going by this Graveclaw Hag Coven.
We put in a good word for Shroud while we're here.
Yes, put in a good word for Shroud.
Everything.
Yep. Shroud was very helpful. Yeah, just basically filling them in.
Because we also honor our agreements.
We do. I am lawful evil.
Oh, it's good to hear about Pakged. Well, awful to hear that the original thing happened, but good to hear that Shroud is getting it back on its feet. Kyril, yes, I am appreciative. I did not understand how deep the subterfuge of this coven was. I could care less about the poisonings. It sounds like Pakged is still running, thanks to the Shroud. But she has cheated Geb and the Carter's Consortium from hundreds, perhaps thousands of gold pieces.
She was quite clear about her disdain for Geb and its rulers.
Unacceptable.
So I have to assume the rest of the Graveclaws feel similarly.
What's left of them?
Bloodlord Zithni says, oh, I just hate that vicious hag. At my first social outing as a Bloodlord, she waited until I was in front of our King Geb himself before calling me a dagger-toothed dandy, and I quote, a perfumed leech. Now, yes, that was centuries ago, but what good is on death if one can't hold a grudge for all time? I wish she'd choke on her own eye.
Perhaps we can help her with that.
Yeah, I feel like that could be arranged somehow.
Her position as a visiting professor is up for renewal this month. I intend to use all my leverage to ensure she's cast out on her bony behind, but you, you have made it potentially so much sweeter. Well, this has turned out to be very interesting. Do you think this is where this ends, Lucan? Sharon?
No.
Where the plot ends, or what specifically?
Do you have any more leads? Is this your last thread?
It's our last thread for now, but I suspect there's something more going on, something more we're going to learn. There's something missing There's certainly an ingredient, or multiple ingredients missing from what we know, because the ones that exist, they don't seem to have any use. There's got to be some other catalyst. There's got to be a motive as well. And as far as I can find, we haven't determined one. I can't imagine why the Coven would want to do this on such a large scale. There must be something else going on. No, I don't think Nethnelma is going to be the end of this story.
Gosh, it's just so exciting to hear about this investigation and this spool unraveling, and you just ended up here, of all places.
Each of the other hags have pointed us in another direction. I'm sure this will be similar.
How very exciting. I will suggest perhaps you could go and sit in on one of Nethnelma's public classes. There is one coming up shortly. Oh, what a wonderful idea, Cairo.
Well, that sounds as wonderful a place to start as any. Thank you for the suggestion, Bloodlord.
It was fortuitous running into you, as we were somewhat lacking in our knowledge of Nethnelma and the Twilight Castrum.
Well, if you need to know anything about the Twilight Castrum, you can certainly let me know. Actually, they're the ones who are paying for my condo. I'm here until it gets boring, which, and he glances over at Lucan, it hasn't yet.
Gay!
Yes,
Yes,
it is.
yes, indeed.
In fact, they're naming a hall after me. The Zithny Hall for Vampiric Studies has a very flattering ring to it, don't you think?
Well, I'll study in your hall if you'll study at mine, Zithny.
Oh, stop. No, keep going. Anyways, maybe, and this is just me, Glorinsa, I'm going to go back to my place. I'm staying at the hostel if you need anything. And she points to one of the graveyards, the one in the middle. I like it, it's quiet. I like the quiet. They let me keep Glorinsa and Richa with me at all times. Here's my room number. Visit me anytime you would like. And discreetly, she adds outside of the earshot as everybody's kind of like stands up later. The hostel's a good choice for those on a budget as well, so...
Oh,
Wow.
talking shit.
She goes off to stay. For the other two, I want a diplomacy check from Shara and from Lucan.
For whom?
Cairo and Zithny.
All right. I get a 21. I think I might use my hero point here. Yeah. I would like that to be better. Let's see how that goes. Oh, I roll on that one. I get a 14. That doesn't even make sense.
Shara does get a 28.
Sure, gets a 28.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you here, Lucan.
Or would my
pretty low?
28 of... Okay, I don't do that. I don't do that. I get to know the results of my check before I use the hero point.
It's true. You can take your hero point back, and 21 is a success. Shara, Cairo kind of approaches you as everybody's getting up to leads and says, if you would like to get to know me better, I am available at the Queen's Loft. I am very interested in your party, and I know the least about you.
Well, I would be very happy to sit down and chat, Bloodlord.
He nods and points over to, he tells you he's staying at the Queen's Loft, which is in a separate graveyard. And he goes off. Zithny downs the rest of his wine-laced blood and drags a finger across Lucan's shoulder and says, I'm staring at the Harrow House. Unfortunately, I am going out right at this moment, and it's a private affair, but please check in with my secretary, set a date, come and see me.
Oh, I will. And if you ever need any arm candy, I can be told I'm quite sweet.
We'll talk. Ciao. And he takes off. And the Harrow House is, of course, in the third graveyard.
I suppose we would have given the Bloodlord also where we were staying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's just say, for practicality's sake, it's nearby. Each one of the lodgings is really like a hotel of sorts. This is, Metropolis. The buildings rise, dozens of floors high in some places. You now know that Nethnelma is a visiting professor at Twilight Castrum, and she is holding a public lecture soon.
Yeah, we'll plan for that.
Yeah, maybe would have asked Zithny, because he was one that was being sponsored by Twilight Castrum, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah. He's being hosted by them right now.
About, do we have to sign up to go to the class, or is it just like a public thing, or?
Oh, it's a public affair. You could
okay.
Just walk into
just
it.
Just kind of show up.
Yeah, just show up.
So we've got a couple of days, huh?
How many days do we have to waste till then?
The class isn't for another 2 weeks. You get a lot of time.
2 weeks.
So you have a lot of options here.
I mean, I know what my main option is, but other than that,
Getting it.
we could maybe do a little bit more, gather information. There's a school here, so there's probably there's probably a library. I might see what I can find about more information about these different ingredients that we know, and these weird zombies that we found in Pakged. Pakged, thank you.
Okay. Yep.
Pakged. See if I can learn more about all of those things. Because we know what those types of zombies are called.
Virulek.
Yeah, learn more about Virulek, what creates them. Learn more about these ingredients. Like, we talk to a chemist. I would love to go maybe see if I can make an appointment with a professor of alchemy and present them with what I know and see if hey, is there any other ingredients you can think of that might do something with this, that might work with this? So doing some research like that and getting laid. That's my plan.
It's quite the checklist you got there.
Hey, I'm a vampire. I only need to meditate for 4 hours. The rest of the time, I'm go.
Yeah, plus we have 2 weeks. That's a lot of time to do stuff.
So you guys could figure out what you want to do, if there's any crafting you want to do, or...
Shira would certainly go talk to Heldoli and Kiro during that time. She would not keep them waiting.
Not very long. Okay.
Yeah. Within a day, or... probably within a day for Heldoli and maybe a couple days for Kiro. Just because Heldoli was a direct contact and supervisor type person. Employer.
Yeah. It's super nebulous right now with her, isn't it? We've got a to-do list of what you want. So let's start talking about... let's get research done and out of the way. Lucan, you want to go ahead and give me a...
Better bring Kix along with you to explain the science and stuff behind it.
I'll just make sure you don't get eaten.
Let's go ahead and give me a religion check, or you know what? You have lore zombie, right?
I do have lore zombie, yes.
You do, okay. Go ahead and give me lore zombie. They are not technically a zombie, but you know enough about them, and you know how to reference undead like this in the creations.
I get a 30.
Okay. A Virulek is the result of when a large amount of people die from poisonings. An undead is sometimes infused with at least lethal venom, and a lot of times Viruleks, when they occur singular, a lot of times they can be mass, but if they're singular poisonings, then they can be solitary creatures with memories of their excruciating death by poisoning. But when that mass poisoning produces numerous fatalities, the Viruleks have that moment of agony in their life transitioning into death, that they almost kind of have a hive mind with each other over that shared moment. It does retain its intelligence and the memory that it had in life, but it's just their agonizing death by poison transforms them.
So it's the more people that get killed in that way, the more powerful it is.
It can be, because mobs of Virilax, I mean, the more people don't increase the power of the individual Virilac,
Right.
but they also work very well together as a coordinated force. Not coordinated might be the wrong word. It's a mob.
A
right?
mob. Do I find that there's any way that anybody has found ways to control the mob or anything like that?
Directed in some way?
Directed in some way, yeah.
Yeah. In Moriarty's Volume 3 of creating unusual undead, there are a lot of counts of difficulty controlling Virilex because of how much of their knowledge of their previous life that they retain, that they fall back to that first in their previous self-identity in life before what created them. So commanding them becomes like commanding a living person with free will.
They also just become difficult and undead. I ruminate on what possible benefit doing this could serve anybody on such a mass scale.
Okay. Let's see. We have 4 encounters here that we could attack. The social encounter with Berline, the social encounter with Zithny, the one with Kyril, and then the class. Zithny wants to party. Zithny actually wants to legitimately go out on the town with the whole party and party with all 4 of you.
Oh god, you're never getting Arius. You're probably not even getting Shara. Maybe, I don't know, that's up to you. You guys.
Kix will just be reluctantly dragged.
Yeah. Shara's pretty social.
Okay.
Like, she's not going to be like the crazy one out there on the dance floor doing crazy things, but she's also not going to shy away from a social encounter like that.
I'll go fucking Vogue. I'll be voguing.
Like I said, I would do both of mine in the first few days.
Okay, so we do Berline first then.
Sure. Are we all going? Does everybody go to see Berline? Or is that just you, Shara?
Well, she had just said that she wanted to hear more about
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Gerdrug, what happened with Gerdrug, which it's going to be honestly a pretty short conversation because
I don't know what he just
I
did.
didn't do anything. She was already dead.
He did.
Really, that's all she wants to know, and we don't even have to roleplay that out
I don't
necessarily.
think we really need to roleplay it other than
She just wants
I mean,
to know.
unless she has specific questions about it or what Shara's plan is going forward. Yeah.
Not
she'll
yet.
Cheryl will just be like, he was already dead.
At this point, she's...
And I felt like Urgatho guided me to this particular place for a reason, so I stuck with the group.
And that's all she wants to know. Yeah, we don't have to roleplay that out. So that's easy. So then, party or see the Cairo first?
I mean, Lucan would want to go party as frequently as possible. So it just depends on how I can drag you lot out with me.
You clowns.
Yeah, if you go every single night, Shara's definitely not going every night.
No, we're just going to do one night.
So just pick a night.
That's not when he's doing it every night, but that's a different story.
We get to Friday and it's like, okay, yeah, let's all go out
Let's
on the
fucking
town.
chill.
Let's do the boring guy first, and then the party second, just because that's going to be more fun.
Cairo Von.
Yeah, I can't imagine Cairo will have too much talking to me about, but I know Urgatho tends to be the kind of a Geb's religion, but did any of these people have any kind of religious symbols on them?
Bloodlord Zithny would have had an Urgathoan religious symbol somewhere, really surreptitiously in there.
No. That would definitely even make me more likely to, go out and do stuff with them. As long as no one's got something crazy, which I wouldn't assume they would advertise if it was something outside of the ordinary.
So you make your way over to the Queen's Loft then. Who's all going to Queen's Loft to see Viral or Chiral?
Did he insinuate he wanted it to be all of us?
No, it's up to you guys. It doesn't matter.
Is that the guy David's trying to get freaky with?
No, the other one.
Oh, then I'll go to this guy's house. Yeah, he seems alright.
I'm definitely going.
For those who show, it sounds like Kix and Shara, and that's it.
No, I'll go. I'll certainly go.
Lucan, Arius,
I guess we'll all go.
everyone goes. You'll go to the Queen's Loft. When you enter the Queen's Loft, it's a very stately hotel. In fact, in the lobby, there is a statue of a Razny. Kyrill's actually sitting in the hotel lobby,
Interesting.
and he is reading a book. He places a bookmark in the book, stands up, and you can see it's a historical treatise on Queen Erasni's reign. And he greets you. Hello, Shara. And glad to see you've come as well, Lucan, Kix, Arius. I thought we might get to know each other over a game. Do you know the rules to Blood Price?
I don't know, do I? Society check?
Fucking love that game.
Anyone can give me a society check for Blood Price.
18.
Incorrect. I cannot.
Anyone.
Anyone who is able to.
To be fair, I've only lived in Geb for a few years.
I forgot. I guess I did. It was a really drunk night.
Kix not sure. And then Shara doesn't have society.
I kind of look around at the group. We all kind of look at each other. Well, it appears that we're at a loss. Why don't you teach us?
Blood Price is an economic strategy board game simulating Geb, its factions, and the machinations of bloodlords. Join me in the library. There's a copy of the game available for guests to use. Are you all interested?
Absolutely.
Heck yeah, dude. This game sounds fun.
Can you describe it one more time? That's such a weird.
It's an economic strategy board game simulating Geb, its
It's
factions,
fucking Monopoly.
and the
Really, I thought it
machinations
sounded
of the
more like
bloodlords.
Risk.
Yeah, it's. I think it might be kind of like Risk. So basically, each player who plays the game selects one of Geb's factions, and Kyrill, being and I keep getting this wrong. The Carter's Consortium and the Export Guild are separate, but the Carter's Consortium is under the Export Guild because they're just like the Carter's Union, I guess.
Well, because the Export Guild is the greater, is like the great
faction.
house.
Yep.
Is
The
greater
minor
where
faction is the Carter's Consortium
yeah, it's like a sub faction of
the Export Guild. Yes. So, but anyways, anyone who plays, you choose one of Geb's factions, and Kyrill's going to pick the Export Guild. But during the game, each player begins with a starting position on the board, a special ability, a unique victory condition, and a bank of resources, all decided by your choice of faction. The great factions have the most powerful starting positions, but the game is balanced so the lesser factions can be victorious. And the players make deals with each other, trading resources and establishing alliances, and any player might win alone, but a joint win by players who work together is actually more likely. In any case, the game ends after 6 turns. So, if you guys want to play, there's basically just 6 checks that you make. And each turn, you make a single check, either deception to bluff, diplomacy to maintain an alliance, or games lore to master the rules of play, even though nobody has that, society to apply knowledge of Geb, intimidation to make an aggressive play, or even like thievery to cheat, such as pocketing resources or manipulating dice. Each time a player uses a specific skill, the DC of future checks with that skill increases by 1.
Okay. Sure, let's do it.
So, a success in any round on your check earns you 1 blood point. A critical success gains you 2 blood points. There's no penalty for failure unless you attempted thievery. In that case, Kyrill might have something to say about that.
Playing a game in a game.
Playing a game in a game.
Gameception. We're Shakespeare. Let's do this.
So, winning the game requires 10 blood points at the end of a turn, but players can form alliances to reach that total, adding their blood points together.
Now, my thought is Bloodlord Kyrill the kind of person we want to let win, or do we want to beat him so he respects us?
Or do we want to join him and win? Somebody.
We all join him and crush Kix.
No.
Just for the laughs.
Everyone would have to choose a faction.
Well, I certainly let Bloodlord Kyrill take first choice.
Oh, he will choose the Export Guild.
That makes sense. Reanimators for me, please.
Okay.
I don't like any of those factions. Can I make my own faction? Zerial faction?
The war faction.
The war faction.
There is the War Master Council.
And then does my lore warfare then count as a check for something?
I will be doing the tax collectors because I love money. That's just my old job. I just know about it.
Celebrants would be probably make the most sense for Shara. I mean, most of them are priests of Urgathoa and stuff like that. And, extravagant ceremonies, gruesome feasts. That all sounds like fun.
Then Kyril looks at Arius. I pegged you for a War Master Council player.
I pegged you.
Thanks, Spencer.
Okay. Yeah.
So the whole idea here is that we narrate the rise and fall of each of our factions as we go through, create alliances and things like that. But I instead propose that everybody makes their rolls, their appointed checks. And remember, if you make the same check, a second or a third time, you increase the DC of that skill by 1.
Interesting that the War Master Council is actually headquartered in Yled.
Is it? Cool.
Yeah. So we know where where Arius is going.
Kyril is going to begin by explaining the game in more detail, and I'm not going to role play that or anything, but he makes a game's lore check to show his mastery in the game, and
God, that's
just
terrible.
literally just makes it on the nose.
Does he even know how to play this game?
So,
But he also can basically not fail either. He only rolled a 4 and got what he needed.
yeah, that's the one. That's his highest skill is games lore.
What a fucking loser. What is he, us?
Keep track of your blood points. Kyril now has 1.
So you just get 1 per each thing you do.
We get 1 on a success, 2 on a critical success.
Okay, so how do we decide who goes next?
There is no initiative order.
What do our house selections make a difference?
Only in your actual role play of each turn, as you're role playing the rise and fall of your faction throughout the history of Geb or that sort of thing.
I will apply knowledge to Geb. Oh, it was so good.
Actually, the War Master Council is not located in Mekatar. It's located in Yled, right here in this city.
Yeah, you got me. You're smart, mister.
Thank you.
Okay. So you did.
Who wants to go next?
So what you failed? You didn't get a blood point.
Yep.
No blood for me.
All right. I will make a check. I'll make an intimidation check as the reanimators use the fear of their army of reanimated corpses to gain traction in Geb.
Okay. All right. Go ahead with your intimidation check on that.
I get a 30.
A 30 is a success, but not quite a critical success.
Damn it. Blood points 1.
One blood point for Lucan.
All right, that's my turn.
Forming up an army with the zombies and the skeletons, are you, Lucan?
This is Geb. Why wouldn't I?
Who wants to go next? Got Shara and Arius.
I'll throw out a diplomacy check for throwing a large feast in the honor of Geb. And get a 31, baby.
31 is a critical success.
God
you get 2
damn
blood
it.
points from that.
2 blood points.
A popular sentiment these days among the celebrants. Yes, it is good to see the king back on his throne. Honor and praise to him indeed.
And to the Pallid Princess.
As you wish. Well, Arius, what do you got? I'll give you lore warfare on this one. For sure.
Yeah, my lore warfare is really bad.
Yeah, I kind of thought so. It's intelligence, isn't it? It's lore. Yeah.
I mean,
And
Lord.
you're just trained in it, so that means you're like what? You
It's
get
a +8.
plus 8. I mean, that's not
I
terrible.
prefer
It's not great.
intimidation, to be honest.
Intimidation to start.
Yeah.
Okay.
See if we can start strong. Can I technically get intimidating prowess?
Yeah.
I don't know
Sure.
who I'm intimidating.
I don't know. Let's make it happen.
Everyone?
Yeah, you're intimidating everybody at the table. I always picture like if Arius is gonna. Yeah.
Oh, that's a nat 20. That's a nat 20 for 36.
Critical success. The War Master Council makes an aggressive play.
Arius, I see you've played this game before.
Very aggressive play.
Arius drops down a doctrine, an old dug-up law that allows him to just like take control over the Reanimators army that was just raised.
God damn it.
Nice. So that's round one. Let's go into round two. I'll start this one off. It never hurts to have the War Master Council on your side. And he makes a diplomacy check to try to sway Arius to work with them, but he fails with a 19.
What a loser.
Sometimes they can be a bit fickle, but they'll understand that supplies need to be brought to the front lines eventually. Who wants to go next?
I will. I'm going to intimidate Arius's crew. Say zombies suck.
Zombies suck.
I get a 7. Kix doesn't know how to play the game.
You try to use it in intimidation, you got a +1.
Wait, what was the faction you picked up again? Was the
I'm the tax collectors.
you haven't paid your taxes, sir.
They need to pay into the wartime
I'm
chest,
sorry.
and they haven't.
We're confiscating your army for unpaid taxes.
It didn't go well.
Yeah, Arius would just be like, no.
I don't get this game at all.
And now you're a part of my army.
We're doing it right now. Who wants to go next?
That's Kix saying it. I get the game. Just Kix ain't good at it.
Does there have to be an order? Or?
No, just each person has to go once per round. So
Yeah, once per round, doesn't matter. Whoever wants to hop in.
Are we in round 2?
Yep, round 2 right now.
round 2.
I intimidate again. DC just gets increased by 1, right?
That's correct.
Yeah,
War
I don't give a
Master
fuck.
Council.
I continue to
continues be
intimidate
aggressive.
everyone. 32.
God damn it. It's another critical
That's still a critical
success.
success.
You asshole.
Because of intimidating prowess. Because Tyler gave that to him.
Yeah, that's right. That happened. What, it's fucking round 2 and you're already at 4 blood points? Wow. Okay. All right.
Well,
So
if we're intimidating, Shara's intimidating.
the
too.
War Master Council continues to consolidate power.
I thought I had him.
Fuck.
Shara's gonna be like, and if praise and feasting isn't enough, we will force the others with fear and intimidation.
Arius class.
And get a 34.
So feast now. That's a critical success.
Yes.
Two blood points for Shara. Urgathoa and Zuriel are quite the power couple when they decide to work together, right? Lucan?
The Reanimators will say they're going to join this war, but then betray you with a deception check.
See, the Reanimators built in a failsafe.
God
no.
damn it.
No.
Nope, they didn't, actually.
No. Oh shit! That was Lloyd's job. Lloyd,
Fucking Lloyd.
fucking Lloyd. Lloyd got ran over by
A reindeer.
Lloyd got ran over by a reindeer.
Okay, that was everybody in round 2, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
That goes to round 3. And
No, it's me.
Kix, you haven't gone.
I've got it
you're
this
gonna go round
time.
3.
No,
All right.
He wants to start out round
Sweet.
3.
What do you got?
I'm going to collect more taxes against Arius's people.
Fuck yeah. A fucking critical
Untrained
success
diplomacy,
on an
Jesus
untrained diplomacy.
You rolled a nat 20. Hit 21 to succeed, so it actually is a critical success.
It actually is a critical success.
That is so stupid.
Oh shit.
Pay into the war chest. I think I'm getting the hang of this.
Cairo will actually use a society check to apply his knowledge of Geb, to which he critically succeeds. And then, that absolutely tracks. Pay the war chest.
Yeah.
And historically, if you didn't pay the war chest, those were removed. Kyril has 3 blood points now.
Kyle's cheating.
Cool. I asked Kyril if he would like some reanimators too. I could raise some undead slaves to help you with all of your shipping. They could pull the carts. They could guard the carts. How about that? And I'll make a diplomacy check to try and align with Kyril.
Form and maintain an alliance. All right.
28?
Maybe not reliable labor, but sometimes if the labor is cheap enough,
I could make it so cheap. Life is cheap.
then perhaps we should pool our blood points in an alliance.
Oh, hell yeah. How many does he have?
3.
We now together have 4. He brought a lot more to this relationship than I did.
Your 28 was very, very coercing. Convincing.
Convincing, that's it.
Convincing.
Yeah, convincing. Coercive's the intimidation one.
That's it.
It's what I'm about to do. I want to coerce them into being my subjects, and I get their points.
You're gonna intimidate again?
Yes. Always. That's all I have.
You keep succeeding.
29.
Plus 16, it's pretty easy.
Not a critical success. But yeah, a 29 is a success. You get an additional blood point. That's 3 aggressive plays in a row.
That's all I got. It's all going to be aggressive plays.
All 6 turns.
What? I don't have any of the other skills. I don't know what you want from me.
I just think it's great.
Can I medicine my way into this? How about athletics? Can I show off my athletics?
Yeah, they don't have that.
Yeah. Yeah, Shira's absolutely going to do a diplomacy with Arius. Arius, similar to our respective patrons, I suggest we join together to crush these people.
Fools.
And I get a 22.
22 is a success.
I agree.
So that what? Shit.
Right,
Arius
'cause it's
had
10.
4. That gives you 10?
Yep.
No!
Because he's got 5 and I've got 5.
Wow. Okay. We just got crushed. Absolutely crushed.
Well, that was a quick game.
Games are fun.
Ergotho and Zerial.
It's what, 3 rounds?
So, religion just won. Cool.
Religion one.
Yes.
Awesome.
Religion 1. Well,
War and religion
evil.
just...
Very, very evil religion. Who did you want to win?
When the game is over, Kyril rises and congratulates Shara and Arius. Religion can be a very driving force. It's good of you to remind me of this as I approach my day-to-day operations. Thank you. Here. And he actually pulls out a rod.
He pulled out his rod?
No, that's what we're supposed to do with the next Bloodlord.
Pulled out a rod, right?
I'd make a sports joke, but none of you would get
Yeah,
it.
does Jennifer Lopez like it?
And he hands it to Kix.
See, I told you I won the game.
And he says, "This suits you. It seems, as you plainly rely on whimsy rather than strategy."
Darn tootin'.
And what is it?
He gave you a rod of wonder.
Oh, how nice of him.
Oh, jeez. That's the thing that Peach Pie got, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That he also used just
Just for whimsy.
to
Yes,
random.
exactly.
Don't you have to be chaotic to use it or something?
I don't think so.
No.
That was the Grail.
Here's
the
the fun
Grail,
part
yeah.
about the this situation. It basically, this is exactly what Kix did. Is the situation that he hands over the rod of wonder.
It's just fucking around
randomly
being
do
silly.
Yeah, if somebody's just like, I'm no good at this, but we're just gonna go, just do it, right? It's great.
Perfect.
I apologize, Bloodlord. Sometimes I get competitive.
No, it was very educational.
I just wanted to win the war.
And you did. A good reminder. Praise be to Geb. And have a good night.
You as well.
Was that all he wanted?
That's all he wanted. Just wanted to play a game.
All right.
It's just...
He's
wanted to play a
just
game.
us without a group.
Aww.
Oh. And no online to play.
Yeah, no internet.
Honestly, I think Arias might be this guy's new best friend.
Just gonna play Blood Price for a couple of weeks while waiting for the...
Just 6 turns in a row.
Just constantly intimidate. Yep.
Every time.
So we've made it to Yled in our pursuit of Nethnelma, the next hag of the Graveclaw Coven. We're deep into playing the game of social intrigue now, literally even. What more will we uncover? Find out next time as we continue Bloodlords. And until then, may you have many great adventures of your own.
It's your turn.